From the signature event, the Darwin Aboriginal Art Fair, through to the iconic fashion Country to Couture and the National Indigenous Fashion Awards, there really is something for everyone.
I get to share this with my daughter, being a single mom and showing her that you can do anything and having my family support me. Oh my goodness.
It means a lot to be able to, stand on a platform like this and be recognised.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Simon Carmichael. I'm the newly appointed Artistic Director at the Darwin Aboriginal Art Fair Foundation, and I'm extremely excited to see you all here tonight. We come from many different lands and waters across the continent, each with deep songlines and stories held in language, song, dance, and art. Since time immemorial, cultural protocols have guided the way that visitors and neighbours are welcomed to country. These protocols have always been followed to recognise and respect the deep spiritual and cultural connections that traditional owners and custodians hold with their country. It's my pleasure to introduce Lucas James, who is here to welcome you all to country this evening.
That video was beautiful. I had my mascara ruining. Nah, give me. Oh, okay. Let's get to business. If you weren't here yesterday for the runway show, I must say you missed out. I was painted up. I looked deadly and sexy. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lucas James. The name given to me by my Larrakia elders is Dangalapa. Dangalapa is our saltwater crocodile. I'm here this afternoon as a young Gulu managing Larrakia man. I'm proud of my culture, my people, and especially my country. I acknowledge our ancestors, all those who came before us. It's their bones and ashes that we stand on and that give us our identity. I acknowledge and love my elders. They keep us strong. I acknowledge all my other countrymen who are here today with us. We are the future. If you don't know, us Larrakia mob are about 8 families. There's about 2,000 of us in Darwin. We are the traditional custodians of the lands and seas in the greater Darwin area. Larrakia Country stretches about 50 kilometres to Gun Point in the northeast, to Mountain Dam to the south, and across to the Kembe, or Cox Peninsula, to the west of here. We are saltwater and freshwater people. We've got a small city on our lands today, but Larrakia history on this land and sea goes back thousands of years. Over the last few hundred years, we have shared our history with lots of different people from all over the region and the world. Macassan tree pangers, European explorers, gold miners, Malay pearlers, migrants from all over, foreign military, and much more. Now our history includes all the different people who've grown up and raised families here. It's a unique place. My own family history is a mix of some of these different nationalities. I hope you guys are ready for all these deadly designs made by these talented mob. It's an absolute honour to have these incredible mob coming here, bringing their creations to Larrakia Country. I want you to make sure and admire their work, their effort, their culture, their language, and it's incredible. That's all I'm already starting looking around. I'm like, in our way, we care for our lands and everyone on it. I welcome you to our country, and I'm letting our ancestors know that you are here, so they'll see you and keep you safe. This is about connection with our ancestors, our country, and all of our people. With this connection, I also ask you to be mindful and responsible on our country. In return, Gwalwa Daraniki, our land, and Daraba Nungalinga, Old Man Rock, our ancestor in the sea, will look after you and protect you while you're here. Damara Giri, Gwalwa Daraniki, I welcome you to our land. Stay safe, spend as much money as you can here, trust me. And I also like to give one more shout out to my beautiful mother over there. I love her lots. She's taught me a lot, she's scolded me a lot, but I love her for it. Thank you so much, Mamak, and have a great time.
I would like to deeply acknowledge the Larrakia people, their elders past, present and emerging. And thanks so much, Lucas, an amazing young Larrakia leader, for welcoming us to beautiful Larrakia Country. I'm of the Nugi people of Quandamooka Country, which includes the lands and waters of and around Minjerribah, Stradbroke Island, and Morgumpin, Moreton Island in southeast Queensland. I'm truly honoured to be here with you tonight in my first year as Artistic Director of the Darwin Aboriginal Art Fair Foundation, and to also be your host for tonight's opening. Thank you. I look forward to meeting you all soon. I'd like to acknowledge the many Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples here with us tonight, as well as our non-Indigenous allies who walk beside us and work to support this vibrant industry. The distance many of you have travelled to be part of this gathering. Some of you have travelled thousands of kilometres, and we thank you for your presence. Our team calculated that if we combined all the kilometres that you have travelled to be with us, we could traverse around the earth twice. While we each come from different lands and carry our own stories, tonight we come here as one. As we get started tonight, we're delighted to welcome some very special guests. Thank you to Marion Scrymgour, Special Envoy for Remote Communities, Member for Lingiari and Chair of the Joint Standing Committee of Northern Australia. Luke Gosling, Member for Solomon. Julian Lisa, Shadow Minister for the Arts. Darren Young, Deputy Leader of the Opposition and Member for Daly. Mr Chancey Paik, Member for Gwadja. Mr Manuel Brown, Member for Arafura. Mr Wesley Enoch, Chair of Creative Australia. And Francesca Cabello of Creative Australia. I'd now like to invite to the stage the Chair of the Darwin Aboriginal Art Fair Foundation, Nadine Lee, who will share a special artist tribute and warmly welcome you all to this year's art fair.
Thank you, Simon. Damangwa Batiwa, Nane Nadine, Birmilangali. I am a Larrakia Waterman. I'm from the Larrakia Waterman Garadjari peoples with Asian and European ancestry. I am a Larrakia representative on the DAAF Foundation Board. And earlier this year, I was delighted to accept the role of chair. So it's a real honour. Thank you. In reflecting on this year's NAIDOC theme, the next generation, strength, vision and legacy, we acknowledge some of the prolific artists we have lost this year. Their legacies will continue to guide, uplift and inspire generations. And these legacies aren't just remembered, they are carried forward through the works and stories shared by the next generations of artists here today. Through their powerful practices, they invite us to connect, to listen deeply to stories, knowledge, and richness of their culture. What you're about to see on screen has been shared and with care, with support and blessings from the art centres and their communities. We ask you to join us in a moment of silence to reflect, honour and pay respects to these remarkable artists who have given so much through their practice. At the Darwin Aboriginal Art Fair Foundation, our purpose is to work alongside artists and art centres to develop innovative platforms where artistry and culture can shine in ways defined by you, the artist and the art centres. When you showcase your powerful works at DAAF or your stunning garments on the runway, we're here to celebrate culture and community in ways that are strong, respectful and ethical. I'm actually wearing a beautiful outfit from the Sandra and Shara Delaney and also Jilpa Arts earrings, and this is just amazing. It's so comfy and congratulations on the stylist. It's really, I love it. I don't know if I will return it. So our week began with Country to Couture, making a very special milestone, the 10th anniversary of this iconic event. 2 vibrant runways, shows brought 20 stunning collections to life. And yes, Lucas looked really great. Here's my baby. Anyway, last night we proudly hosted the 6th National Indigenous Fashion Awards. And I'd like to extend a heartfelt congratulations to the 38 exceptional nominees and the 7 inspiring winners. Both events are an important part of our Indigenous Fashion Projects program. Yay. So the energy in the room tonight is amazing. So there's talent everywhere. So everyone just do this. Yay, how exciting. Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, see, look, electrifying. Remarkable. So this remarkable event could not happen without the incredible support of our partners. Because of them, we are able to keep this event free for everyone to enjoy. Yeah, so most importantly, continuing to return 100% of all sales back to our art centres where it truly, properly belongs. Yeah. In order to do this and keep the fair free to the public, we rely on the working with the incredible partners. So with deep gratitude, I'd like to acknowledge and thank our principal partner, the Tim Fax Family Foundation, through the Australian Cultural Fund, our government partners, the Australian Government's Indigenous Visual Arts Industry Support and Visual Arts Craft Strategy, the Northern Territory Government and Northern Territory Major Events Company and Arts NT, and the City of Darwin. Our major partners, the University of Melbourne, Chapman and Bailey, Darwin Convention Centre and Dream Media. So our premium partners, Copyright Agency Cultural Fund, Fusion Exhibitions, Healing Foundation, West Farmers Arts, Jacana Energy and the Darwin Development Group. I also want to give a heartfelt shout out to our incredible DAAF champs, yay, and DAAF 1000s and DAAF friends, along with our IFP donors who generously support our work. Your contributions mean the world to us. You're a vital part of DAAF Foundation family, and we are so grateful and respectful for your ongoing support. So, if you believe in strong, self-determined First Nations culture, art and fashion, we'd love to welcome you to donate here tonight. So please talk to our staff or jump online. So it's worth it. So it's so worth it. So thank you for being generous and opening your heart to donate. Please. So looking ahead to 2026, the Darwin Aboriginal Art Fair will celebrate its 20th anniversary, a major milestone that speaks the enduring cultural significance and national impact of this important platform. 20 years, so big birthday party next year, so come along. I'd also would like to acknowledge tonight two of our fearless leaders who sadly resigned from the board this year. Linley Nunguda, sorry sis, from Munkaja Arts Resource Agency, sat on the board for 5.5 years, and we thank you for all your wisdom, support as our Arts Centre representative. And Philip Watkinson, CEO of Desart, was a founding member of the foundation, and after 14 years on the board, he's decided to move on and has nominated Nari Wilson from Q Arts to take on his role. So Philip has been pivotal in guiding and supporting our organisation as it rapidly grown. He will be incredibly missed, and we know your friendship remains. So thank you, Philip. Thank you for everything. And whilst we are so excited that Simon has joined the staff, yay! We would like to give a huge shout out to Shiloh McNamee, who injected her creativity and Arctic flair as DAAF's first artistic director. And of course, none of this would be possible without the passion and dedication of our amazing team at the DAAF Foundation. I'd like to acknowledge the super deadly, wonderful, love her Executive Director, Claire Summers, and her mighty team, who's just amazing. Give them a round of applause, because I think they've been on their feet for a week, so we'll get them a massage. Anyway, please join me. And you've given them a round of applause. One more time. Sorry. Okay, and finally, a warm thank you to our wonderful volunteers. Your energy, dedication and generosity help us with this event. We couldn't do it without you. Give them a round of applause because they're really deadly too. Thanks, volunteers. Okay, we hope tonight leaves you feeling inspired and more connected than ever to the remarkable network of art centres, who are at the heart of everything we do. Thank you, stay safe and love one another. So, Mama, thank you.
Thank you so much, Nadine. A very special tribute, and we feel deeply honoured to help acknowledge the artists and their very powerful legacies. I would now like to warmly welcome Marion Scrymgour, Special Envoy for Remote Communities and the Federal Member for Lingiari.
Good evening, everyone. And it certainly is wonderful to be here with you all tonight and to be back on saltwater country, because I have been for the last 3 and a bit years living in the desert. And it's been great because it means that I've gone back to my father's country, but I certainly miss my mother's country, which is the saltwater people of the Tiwi Islands. I want to begin by paying my deep respects to the Larrakia traditional owners, and I thank them for their warm welcome to the lands that we're all fortunate to be gathering on tonight. And I pay tribute to their elders, past and present. And I have to take this opportunity to say, for the first time in the council elections, we're going to see a Larrakia woman standing for the mayor's position. So, go Nicole. I also want to acknowledge all of the young people in the room tonight. You are inheriting an increasingly scary world, yet you must stay fierce and to advocate loudly for the future you want to step into. It is exciting, and I'm excited to see the change you're able to make. It can sometimes seem like the world is growing more divided, and to a certain extent it is. But it is events like the Darwin Aboriginal Art Fair that reminds us that we have so much more that brings us together. Storytelling and art is truth-telling. It's one of the most powerful mediums at bridging gaps and pulling people closer. Aboriginal people have always understood this. The power of storytelling is something that has kept our community strong and connected for tens of thousands of years. And tonight, like every time DAAF comes around, we get to celebrate and share that with others. I do want to thank the DAAF, all the staff, all of the volunteers for their work in pulling this event together. I was blown away when I walked. It's been a couple of years since I came to DAAF, and to see tonight and to have a look at the quality and the content of the work just blew me away. Like young Lucas said, it's mind-blowing, and I think of the work and the time that has gone in. So for everybody out there, like me, when I walked in, open your purses and spend, because artists and their art centres need us to invest. And whilst we keep spending, we're investing in that great work that is out there. Because each artist comes with their own story and the unique way of viewing the world, as well as the deep cultural connection and responsibility that a lot of them carry. This fair, the Darwin Art Fair, is a culmination and representation of the incredibly rich diversity in this country and a history stretching back more than 65,000 years. This is something we should all be proud of. DAAF helps grow the wealth for our remote communities and provides economic self-determination for Aboriginal people. Last year, it contributed nearly 11.3 million for the Northern Territory economy, but about nearly 4.38 million of that went directly back to local art centres and the artists. As we look to the future for our remote communities and seek to enhance the social and economic conditions of Aboriginal people, art and culture must be central. Our government is working to support these efforts, investing $52 million over the years to establish a First Nation Arts as part of Creative Australia. First Nation Art has a board composed of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander cultural leaders, and Wesley's here, and its focus and work centres on promoting self-determination within the arts sector. The federal government, and I should acknowledge my colleague, the member for Solomon, and the federal government is committed to coming to the table with major artistic projects. We're doing that in Perth, right across this country, launching the Voices of Country program to celebrate the International Decade of Indigenous Languages, which is really important. I know how hard the arts sector works. I hold an electorate that holds, I think sometimes I get a bit biased as I travel throughout Lingiari and I see the work. I often go home broke, but I think that's okay, that's important. But some of the best art centres, I can tell you. But I've been looking at all the others too. So you didn't all come here to hear me speak, but I want to, once again, let's give a round of applause for the DAAF people, all of the volunteers, to Claire and her team. And I want to thank all of the staff, and I know that Simon said it before, all of the staff that come with the artist and the art centres, the work that you do, the advocacy that needs to go on in those art centres. And I know how hard a lot of you work to advocate, to champion, and to make sure that we look after and we respect our Aboriginal artists, that it's not just a painting on a wall, but that painting and that story. Because I go back to that art is about truth-telling, and it's time that our country embarks on that. So enjoy the Darwin Aboriginal Art Fair, and if you see something you like me, I spent too much money when I walked in through that front door, please spend and support those artists. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Marion. That wraps up the formal part of tonight's opening, but the real celebration starts now. Thanks again, everyone, for being here tonight. We hope you have a deadly evening, and it's time to whip out your credit cards and enjoy everything the art fair has to offer.